So federal government assures Nigerians of the safety of GMOs. GMOs are genetically modified organisms. That is food that that is produced in the lab. That is, they tampered with the genetics of the foodstuff in order to produce more. To give more yield. That is what GMO basically is. Recently, Bill Gates funded a program to produce a type of genetically modified corn seeds and have been passed into law in Nigeria for farmers to plant. These are the things you need to know about this kind of seeds, like this corn that Bill Gates funded. Number one, when you plant these seeds, the harvest from these seeds cannot be replanted. You can't plant them again. They will not grow. So you now need to go back to where you got the seeds from, buy again, and continue planting. So every year you go and buy seeds. You cannot preserve the seed from your previous harvest so as to plant it the next planting season. Secondly, the land on which the GMO seeds were planted cannot be used for planting normal, real organic seeds. For example, the corn seeds that you have in your house currently, that you know you have been preserving it for years now, you plant, you have your harvest, you collect some seeds, you keep for the next planting season. Those corn, those seeds, when you plant it on a land that was previously planted on by these GMO seeds, it cannot produce, it cannot grow again because the GMO seeds have tampered with the soil such that it cannot let normal organic seeds to produce. That is the kind of seed that the federal government has allowed to come into Nigeria. Now, I want you to understand something. Food security in Nigeria is artificial. It is not real. The herdsmen that you've heard so much about for years now, it's not what you think, okay? These herdsmen were part of a bigger plot to make sure that we are facing what we're facing right now concerning food shortages. So farmers are not able to go to their farmlands to plant again for fear of their lives. So just imagine in a state like Benue State that over 17 local governments have IDPs. IDPs of over a million. Total IDPs in the country is more than a million people. You have IDP camps in almost all the local governments in Benue State. Talk about Nasarawa State, talk about Plateau State. What about Kaduna, Kano, Katsina? All these states that are producing a lot of food, they can't go to their farmlands again for fear of their lives. And the government seem to be helpless, clueless as per what to do. But now, they are encouraging you and I, our farmers in the village, to go and get the seeds produced by Bill Gates. I don't want this video to be too long, but I want you to understand that there is an intentional plan to make people hungry. Because you see, hunger is one of the tools that the elites are going to use to control people. There's what you face today is nothing compared to what's coming. Some will say, why am I being pessimistic? I am telling you the facts. It is not about to get better when it comes to the things that are happening in the world today. There is a deliberate plan to make things be the way they are today. And this is just the beginning. It is just the beginning. There's more coming. I have so much to say. But just share this video. Make sure it goes everywhere. Make sure your friends, your loved ones see this video so that everybody becomes aware of what is going on.
Farmers, because they wanted to make sure they eliminate all the seed growers in the country. So when they eliminate the seed growers, the natural seeds will never be available again. And how they did that was very simple. What they did was that they just gave 14 million cell phones to all Nigerian farmers, so they could track those people who were being paid for seeds. So when other farmers go to them, they go to buy seeds, and then they know that this person was being paid for seeds, so he's the one selling the seeds. So they now use the GPS coordinates on these so-called electronic wallets, which are just cell phones, to target all of them and eliminate them. When you eliminate the seed, natural seed growers, there will be no other alternative to the GMO, genetically modified organisms, foods and seeds. So they brought these seeds as improved seeds. The other farmers, they drove them into IDP camps and came to these IDP camps under the different NGOs and international agencies and presented these GMO seeds. So the farmers will now leave, they will temporarily halt their military activities in those areas, so the farmers will go and resettle. When they resettle, they start planting the GMO seeds. Once you plant the GMO seeds that first time, that first seed you get from that your maize, if you eat it, that will be the last you are going to eat. Because if you take the seed from that GMO corn and plant it, it will not grow. The gene that allows replication has been switched off. So you have to go back to the person who produced the initial seed. That is, in this case in Nigeria, it will be Monsanto. They will now use them to reproduce these seeds. So these seeds are what actually makes the agricultural produce to move on. So they are using this technique to eliminate all the natural seed growers. And then when the remaining farmers don't have any other place to get seeds than to go to them for that. Now, where do the doctors come in? The doctors come in the fact that when they capture the food security, which they actually have done now, because most of the seed growers have been killed. Just to give you an example, between 2015 and 2018, 37,500 victims were killed by Boko Haram. These were farmers. Then of these 37,500, 32,000, that's 85%, were Muslims. 5,500 were Christians. And in states like Zamfara, 60% of the victims were Hausa, 40% were Fulani. So it became clear that this has nothing to do with Islamic terrorism. It has to do with elimination of all the seed growers. Now they have eliminated the seed growers. Now they're moving into the second phase of their program. Now, when the farmers go to them, we now depend exclusively on the GMOs.
So we not depend on GMOs right now?
Exactly. Because without the GMOs, you cannot really get seeds, unless we are getting seeds from different African countries and some places. Some places in the south, especially southwest, and some parts of southeast, we can still get our own seeds because the Boko Haram have not really infiltrated them.